her son sent it back to us in 2015. So she wanted this to hang where her grandfather's, and there was one mirror here and one mirror right there behind all the lights. All right, you ready to go see where the real history took place? The real history took place over here. But check this mirror out. One of two. The other one is in Lexington, Kentucky. By the way, this was Mrs. Davis. She was the lady that you saw. This is the Mrs. Davis who owned the house at that time. Okay? She looks very good, doesn't she?
Oh.
Remember, that was 1865. And no, she's been playing that part. How long, Miss Peggy? A few years. This is the 11th year we've done this, by the way. 11 years we started doing this. Okay? All right. Remember this ladies' parlor. Okay? No men were allowed. So we're going to go across here. Now listen, Mr. Bobo, he was so quirky of a gentleman. This was the stagecoach stop. All right? All the bedrooms are upstairs. And when you get over here, but right over your head is where the stagecoach people were relegated to. On feather ticks, or feather mattresses. That's the only place they were allowed outside of eating in the dining room. And then going outside and getting the stagecoach. Okay? All right? So he built 2 stairways. This is known as the adult stairway. This adult stairway is the only one that was using this. So they went up, and you'll see right over our head when we get up the stairs, you'll be able to see where they actually was a partition there, and they actually had a partition off, and there was a door that was never there upstairs. And you'll see why in just a minute. All right, here's where it took place today. Now go back in your mind's eye. Go back into your mind's eye. April 30th, 1865. President Davis and his entourage come from this way, from the east. All right. They pull up. They tie up all the 2,500 soldiers that are the escort. Okay. They are camped outside, and they come to that front door and ask Mrs. Mary Whitmire Davis, could they be fed? She was lucky. She had a leg of lamb. Mutton. She actually had mutton that day. Of course, it was Sunday, so you always ate better on Sunday than you ate through the week. All right? So they came in, knocked on the door, 5 big shots. President Jefferson Davis, Judah Benjamin, Rankin, Mallory, and the highest ranking officer was naturally Brigadier General John Breckinridge. Now, President Davis would have sat here. That way he could see, because the time they left Charlotte, they had Yankees shadowing them to try to catch them. They were within 20 miles of them the whole way through South Carolina. Okay, till he got captured in Irwinville, Georgia. President Davis would have sat here. His next highest ranking officer would have been Brigadier General John Breckinridge. Left would have been Judah Benjamin, Rankin, Mallory. That's the 5 big shots. That's what I always like to call them, not derogatory. That was the 5 hosses of the Confederacy who were still at the cabinet. That was the cabinet. It was led by the time they got here. Whatever they talked about, we don't know exactly. It's never written down what they actually talked about. So, as they get through, or almost through eating, one of the generals outside goes into the door and says, we need to go. We need to go. We've been here too long anyway. We got to go. He was trying to get south, which is Jones Ford Road, is this road over here. They were trying to get to the Trans-Mississippi. There was 100,000 soldiers there waiting to fight. Well, that's about it, they thought. So anyway, he gets through it. He says, we got to go. So they all get up, get to that front door, and he turns around and he says, thank you so much for the meal. It was wonderful. By the way, I didn't get your name. Who are you? And she said, well, I'm Mary Whitmire Davis. And he said, that's odd. We have the same last name. And then he turned around and he said, oh, by the way, I'm Jeff Davis, Confederate president, right here now. 3rd place in Union County that he stopped, right? So they get to the door, and they go out, they get on their horses, and they go down Jones Ford Road, and they're headed to the old Riser Brick House, which is on Stomp Springs Road. It's Joe Minna Whitmire Highway, if you're familiar with that area. So that's where they wanted their horses. Anyway, when he gets to the top of that hill right there at Jones Ford Road, not that sideboard there, but Mr. Warren Davis, her second husband, comes in here, and he says, I know I've seen that guy before. He looks like he either runs a funeral home with that long black coat. He looks like he runs a funeral home or he's a politician. So he comes over to the sideboard and pulls out some Confederate letters that has the Confederate stamp, that has the likeness of Confederate President Jefferson Davis. So he knows that's who they've actually entertained here today. And here's the irony. The plate, the actual plate, the actual glass goblet, the two pieces of silver. Come on through, Lewis. No, come on through. You know, boss. So it is actually in the possession of last name Long family that used to own this house. Okay? It's still in their possession. Never left Union County. So it's still there. And so when her death, she's already got it by will that it comes to the Union County Historical Society. I don't want it out here though. Somebody will walk off of that thing. That thing's too big. That stuff be on eBay for a night. You know, authentic stuff taken from the Cross Keys house. You know they'd say that, don't you? No, really. But anyway, this is where now you know all the ceilings are wood. Right over our head. You notice every other room, especially when you get in here too, has the slats over the white things. Why would you think they would have that? You know, she didn't have that in there in the parlor. So you got a girl's bedroom upstairs. And if you're eating down here and there's cracks in the floor, you sure don't want dirt in your food while you're eating, right? And there was 5 girls here. 5 girls at one time. 5 girls and 2 boys. In fact, all the bedrooms you'll see when we get through with the library next door, okay? All right. The next room is the library. And this is where the men were relegated, by the way. So you're actually seeing the lady of the house who fed Confederate President Jefferson Davis on that date, April 30th, 1865. And she's all smiles that you're here. And it's Mary Ann Elizabeth Bobo Whitmire Davis. That's her given name. She was cousin to Mr. Bobo, Bar Bobo, who built the place. Okay? So she's real happy that y'all here. She's all smile. Now, does anybody else, what grade you in school? 4th? How did I know that? You just told me, didn't you? No, I'm saying. All right, why do you think she didn't smile? Why she all like that? What do you think she wasn't smiling about? I know she wasn't happy. And I'll tell you 2 reasons why she probably wasn't happy. You ready? Don't tell anybody I tell you this. She probably didn't have teeth. That's the reason they didn't smile back in those days. Or, you remember they had to actually set the camera and it had to develop, the plate did. So they had to, if they smiled, they had to hold a smile for like 3 or 4 minutes. Most people been done grinned out by the time they got ready to take her picture. So that's one of 2 things possibly. She didn't have teeth, or they were using the wet plate to actually take pictures. So that's why most people back in those, very few people smile back in those. That's why all the sports figures today, like that, because you look tougher. I mean, who wants to see a football player grin like I want to see Briars, you know? You don't want to see that. Anyway, she's glad you're here. Now, let me tell you about something that you'll really get when we get upstairs. Ms. Ola Jean Kelly, who's the former director of the museum, who I was hired by, March 2013, she brought a couple out here. Upstairs in Aunt Fronie, by the way, you'll see her bedroom upstairs, Sophronia. She was the 15-year-old that helped her mother serve the president in the entourage that day. Anyway, there's a pair of shoes upstairs. Little children's shoes, about like that. Well, you don't never touch them. Never touch those shoes. Never touch them, because they're haunted. All right? This man who came through, him and his wife, after they showed Aunt Fronie's bedroom, this guy was standing there just staring at the shoes. True story now. He was staring at the shoes, and Miss Ola Jean Kelly, she said, "What's the matter? Does he have a problem with them shoes or something like that?" And his wife said, No. He sees things that other people don't see. You know. And she said, "Okay. What does he see? Is Miss Whitmire Davis, is she happy that we're here?" Now, he hadn't been in this room yet. He's still upstairs. Because she took him up the main, or I'd reverse it. She took him up the main stairway to just see the bedrooms. And then she brought him in here. So this is the last thing you want to saw. Is she happy that we're here? He said, she's not really mad, but she's not happy that we're here in her house. And he said, she said, "Okay, describe what you see that she looks like." Well, she has high cheekbones, so she must be part Indian. She has dark hair that's busted right in the middle and it flows equally on either side. And she's dressed in the dark with a white collar, white lace collar. So Landon came on out through here and he got to the bottom of those stairs and he said, there she is right there. Well, he'd never heard the name Mary Whitmire Davis. He didn't know who that lady was. So there was some odd things that happened. But there was 10 slave girls here. There were 10 slaves actually in the house. Each child was assigned their own slave. That was their responsibility during the day, all right? When Mom and Daddy went to bed and the master bedroom was on the other side of the house, actually the southeast corner, all right? So when these kids got to crying during the night, there's a solid wall upstairs. So you can't hear children crying at night. If they did, they'd have to come all the way down those main stairs, through here, up these steps, and get to the boys and or the girls. So there's a door now upstairs that was cut about 1918. So the slave girl's job was to sit here in a rocking chair and listen to the children all night. That was her job. Now I was told that by an archaeologist. I said, that doesn't make a lot of sense. If you had a solid wall, how did they get to them kids when they cried during the night? Oh, that's what the girl's job was at night. You didn't get Mom and Daddy out to go listen to no crying youngins. That was their job, okay? So that'd be plausible, right?
Did you show them where the light switch was for modern lights?
Yeah, do y'all know where it could be? Anybody know? Yeah, you had a hook.
Yeah.
You would hook that inverted heart and pull it down, and you would use oil.
Yeah.
You use oil. Yeah. And if you notice, this one is almost an identical twin of that one in there.
I've actually seen them burning
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, yeah. The only light they had back in Miss Mary Whitmire Davis's now, you gotta remember, you got 8 rooms,
It would pull down about right
all the way to here, on that cord, right?
Fill your oil up and light you.
Line it back up, and
Light
look
back
through
up.
spring, right? Yeah.
It's got a spring in that
Yeah.
part up there.
Yeah,
I always
so you
thought
could
that's
adjust it
the
how you
biggest
wanted.
thing.
But remember both, when Miss Whitmire Davis, when Miss Mary Whitmire Davis lived here, she died in 1898, by the way, in the master bedroom. She died in the room up there, not in that bed. That bed was never there. So, then this room was just for the library.